Hi, everybody. Coach Allison back for Defy Aging week 11. So I hope you're feeling nice and refreshed after our mobility week last week and ready to kind of go back to hitting it hard again this week. So this week we have an in your own space routine. It's going to be timed for a max of 27 minutes. And it's going to be, I called it rising reps. You're going to be increasing your reps with each new round that you start. And again, those rounds are going to be at your own pace because you're in your own space. Nothing is timed this week except for the max time for the whole routine. But you're going to start everything. Round one is 3 reps. So that'll go kind of quicker. And then you increase the rep count for each round is increased by 3 reps for each new round. So when you come around to your second round, everything will be 6 reps. And then for your third round, everything will be 9 reps. And if you get to a fourth round, it will be 12 and maybe 15. It depends on, how many rounds you get done. So it doesn't matter how many rounds you get done. It's just everyone is going to work for that total of 27 minutes. And some things are single-sided, so you'll do the rep count on each side individually, of course. And yeah, that's how we're going to work the routine this week. So it'll be kind of nice to be in your own space, going at your own pace, getting away from the intervals for a week. And yeah, let's do some demonstrations for our 6 exercises. Okay, for the first one, we have thrusters. They're also called a squat press, called all sorts of things. 3 reps, again, for the first round. That doesn't really matter because the reps for the first round doesn't matter because the next round is going to be 6. We've done these before. If you're newer with us, perhaps you haven't done them yet because I haven't done them for a while. But palms are going to be turned in like this. You are going to be doing a squat and then doing an overhead press. But the palm position does kind of matter for this because if you do a squat with the palms forward, it is significantly harder to keep that squat form proper or comfortable or good. So we do want palms turned in for this. Weights are kind of just hovering right over the shoulders. Don't let them physically rest on your shoulders. We do a squat, making sure when you're doing your squat, the weights aren't dipping down like this. So it is important that you're keeping the weights here. That subtle change is actually very tricky. Okay, so we do the squat and then all one movement, we come up with the press. You can pause here to sort of reset. And because we want this part to be all one smooth movement, but then we can pause here. What I mean by that is you don't have to come down continually like this. You can, but you can do that pause when you bring those weights down. You can do that pause there to kind of reset if you'd like to. But anyway, that is the thruster, exercise 1. Exercise 2 is pretty straightforward. It's just a single arm bicep curl. We do bicep curls occasionally. More often though, I throw them in as our finisher, and we're going to do a single arm this time. So yeah, 1 weight is all you need. And I like to do this type of curl where I turn my palm in at the bottom, sort of rotate it as I'm bringing it up. Personally, it's not comfortable on my elbow to turn the palm forward like this because I feel like it kind of pulls my arm outward. And it's not good to bring the weight in front of the leg because then it's kind of pulling your arm inward. So for me personally, I like to do this type of curl. So, but if it is comfortable for you to keep your palm forward at all times like this, that is totally fine. So anyway, you do your reps on one side, toss it on over, do your reps on the other side, and that is, of course, the bicep curl. Number 3, we have reverse lunges. Now, typically with reverse lunges, we alternate legs, left, right. This time, just to mix things up a little bit, really doesn't make a difference, but just for the variety, we're going to do all the reps on one side, then all the reps on the other side. It's also kind of nice because it gives you, this is going to end up being quite a few reps when we're at the higher rep counts. Like when we get to 9, it'll be 18 total. If you do get to the 12s, it'll be 24 total. So it'll kind of give you a chance to break and rest when you're switching sides. Let me lower my camera just a little bit here. We do lunges actually quite often because there's walking forward lunges, there's the reverse lunges. We toss them in quite a bit. So I know for our repeat people, you're probably getting sick of all these demonstrations with lunges, but there's a lot of form cues. This is a reverse lunge. And as you can see, when we're doing all on one side, you do bring that leg back to the start position, but then you just take the same leg right back again, as opposed to alternating sides. Okay, so really quick, you can go up to a wall if you'd like to use that wall for balance or a rack or whatever you'd like. If the balance is at all, ooh, what did I do there? If the balance is at all an issue for you, I'd prefer you go up to something to hold on to because I want you focusing on the muscle work, the resistance component of this exercise, rather than worrying about the balance. So if you're feeling really tippy to the point where it's affecting the exercise a lot and you're not really getting a good rep out of it, hold something for balance. Don't even worry about it. But anyways, big step back. You do have to allow your back foot to roll onto the toe to do the movement correctly. Meaning you can't force the heel down, because if you force the heel down, you can't bend this knee, okay? And then you're really just getting like a stretch out of it. Also, I say this one every time because it's very important for alignment. Don't let this back foot turn like this. Your body wants to do that. I had a phone call that interrupted. That's why I had to stop and restart it. Anyways, don't let your foot to turn out like that. It wants to do that to give you a wider base for balance, but that throws alignment off. So it throws your ankle alignment and your knee, and then that turns the hip. So it's really icky for alignment. So you have to keep your foot straight and see how my back foot then rolled up to the toe. When I'm at the bottom of the lunge, the bottom of my foot is straight up and down. Okay, and just go as low as you can. Okay, don't think you have to get the knee all the way to the ground. If you are able, strength and joint wise, if you are able to get the knee to the ground, that's awesome. That's great. But you just tap the floor and come right back up. You don't actually kneel on the floor and then come back up. If you take a full kneel, you're actually releasing the muscle contraction for a moment, and we want to keep the muscle contracted. So don't actually rest on the floor. You can tap it, but then you come right back up if you're able to get that low. Anyway, all the reps on one side and then all the reps on the other side. That way you can take a little break between the two sides. Okay, exercise 4 is going to be Superman. I know we have the low back extension in our new warm-up. So this is kind of a continuation or sort of even an extension of that. Superman. So instead of your arms being behind your head, your arms are going to be straight out. That's going to be more rear delt, back of the shoulder. And then we are going to include the lower body with the lift, which is going to get low back, glutes, and even some hamstring. So keep your head looking pretty much straight down and lift. This, you can take a full rest on the floor between each rep. And it's important, like I said, you do want to keep your head looking at the floor at all times. It's important you're not kind of compensating by flipping your head up like this. So what I mean by that is you're not doing this with your head. Oof. Even that second one, just to show you, I kind of kinked something in my neck. So you don't want to do that. It's sometimes we inadvertently do that sometimes, thinking we're lifting higher, so we're getting a bigger rep. But all you're doing is hurting your neck when you do that. You're not actually doing anything better for your back. So don't do that. For anyone not getting on the floor, every gym has a low back extension machine or apparatus, because it doesn't actually move or anything. I'm not going to go over to it. It's pretty busy here, but your coaches can show anyone who might need it. And essentially, it holds you here, and you're kind of at a 45-degree angle, supported, 100% supported, and you go down and come up. So you're kind of fighting against gravity, but you are about 45-degree forward, being 100% supported. Okay, and otherwise, if there's maybe too many people that would need that, or someone's not comfortable doing it, we can always do an incline version, bird dog, as an alternative that works just fine, because it really does work all the same muscles. So for that, you'd want to do, though, the rep count will be each side separately. So 3 reps each side, 6 reps each side, and so on. Either one is a fine alternative. So that's our Superman our Superman number 4. All right, now getting into some kettlebell. We're going to do a goblet march in place. If we don't have enough heavy kettlebells of the right weights to go around, you can hold a dumbbell as well. with a kettlebell, the goblet hold is like this. If we need to hold some dumbbells like this, that's fine too. Although if you need a heavy enough dumbbell, like 25 or heavier, it can be a little cumbersome to hold it like this, but it does work. Just FYI if we need to do that. But yeah, the march in place, we're gonna hold it at the chest. Make sure it's not resting on your chest, but it's just kind of right, maybe a half an inch. It's just a sliver of space there. Okay, so that way that your shoulders and chest are engaged. And the march in place is slow and controlled. So we're not going for speed. So high as you can with the knees, slow and controlled. So we do want to focus a little bit on the balance and the control. Make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders and tense up here to hold that weight. So actually you want your shoulders down and back like this, tall posture. And yeah, in the reps are each side separately. Yeah, the 3 rep set won't take very long. That'll be a quickie, but still do go nice and slow and controlled. So it does take a little bit of time, but that's our goblet march in place. Okay, team, we do have a cardio move for our 6th one of the set, burpees. So I chose this one for this routine because it's not like 30 or 40 seconds, so it will hopefully go relatively quick. Although when we get into 12 and 15 reps, that will be kind of a lot. But burpees, it's been a while. If you're doing the full burpee, let me show you the incline first. We might have to share some incline apparatusi. And that's okay, because since this is an at your own pace routine, not everyone will be at the 6th exercise at the exact same time. So that's great for this. We can share some benches and some boxes. So burpee on an incline, you put your hands on here, jump back. So take any of those jumps and turn them into steps if any of those 3 types of jumps maybe hurt a back or a knee or an ankle. So maybe you can jump back and you can jump in because those are kind of lighter, but the jump up might hurt, so then just do a reach instead. Or, maybe step back. The jump in is kind of gentler, maybe that feels okay. And, whatever, you can turn any of those jumps into steps if needed. And if you are going for the full floor burpee, it will just a lot farther down, that's all. You down to the floor like this. And like that. The landing, whether you're on the incline or the floor though, when you jump your feet in, the way you land your feet is extremely important for ankle safety and like Achilles tendon and calf tendons and that stuff. I want you to pay attention to my ankles and my ankles here. So we're back here. When we jump in, you want to land flat-footed as opposed to kind of landing like on your toes or the balls of your feet with the heels up like this. We don't want 2 things. We don't want that excessive kind of bounce on the knee, and then we don't want that bounce on kind of the Achilles tendon back there. So land just like you would be in a flat-footed squat like this. So land with those nice flat feet. Little bit of safety for you. Yeah. Anyways, that's our burpee, floor or incline. Maybe try the floor for the lower rep counts, and then when we get to the higher ones, go to the incline, so you give yourself a little of each. Give it a try. Okay, our team builder is going to be a battle rope battle. I'm gonna sort of let the coaches decide how they want to have you guys battle this out. Yeah, they can choose the type of battle rope variety. I'm thinking like the standard alternating or the double arm is probably the best because you can get those going the fastest. But if you have enough people in your session, I'm gonna suggest having 2 teams, especially if there's an even number. If it's a smaller session, maybe you just have everyone go together and time the whole group, and then you go a second round and try to beat your time, so you're kind of battling yourselves. Otherwise it is a race, battling 2 teams, one against the other, to see who can finish first. Might be everyone goes through once and tries to get 50 reps of slams, or everyone goes through twice and has to get 22 times, or kind of coaches can come up with their own spin on that, but it'll be some sort of battle rope battle, a little cardio finisher, a little bit of friendly competition for our team builder. Okay, team, that is our week 11 Defy Aging workout. Hope you enjoy this different kind of routine this week and hope you get a good workout out of it. See you next week.